Ready?
Yep.
Hey everybody, Ira Miller here with Homes Around the Villages YouTube channel, live, Monday Night Live, and first Monday of the month. What is this, the 6th? Kind of almost already pretty far into the month, but want to thank everybody. Liz got the jump on everybody. She got you, Kevin. Usually Kevin's up there pretty quick. So anyways, let's see here. So we have Antonio in the driver's seat tonight, kind of driving everything here, which is cool. And want to welcome Antonio.
Hello.
Sitting in for Christian's old spot. But all right, so listen. First of all, hold up. I gotta check something. That's what I thought. Okay, so Kevin, you're slacking, dude. No pictures this week. But we're going to have this every 2 weeks. So we kind of decided that the last time that that we were on, that we were going to have it every 2 weeks. I went on vacation. There was all kind of stuff. I think we have a lot of stuff out of the way now, except for Thanksgiving. But I don't think Thanksgiving's going to mess with anything. So we should be good to go. From this point forward, man, Christmas is just zooming right along here. It's going to be here before we know it. So I'm enjoying the cooler weather down here in Florida, and I don't know how it is where you all are, but pretty much loving. This is my time of year. I just got back, like I said, from vacation. Well, I guess it's just been a week ago. Went up there to, I don't know if I should even tell everybody where it's my little secret hideaway up in North Carolina mountains, and went to see the leaves change. So a lot of you up north there it's probably just old news for you guys, but for me down here in Florida, we love to go up into the mountains to the cooler weather, see the stay in a cabin, see the leaves change. It's really great. So it was nice to get away. My girl Blakely, she's going on vacation next week. Well, actually starting Friday. She's flying to Missouri, and she's going to leave me all by myself here in this office. So it's a scary thing not having my little safety net there. But anyways, we'll get through it. We have a couple people that are going to be joining the office here. So we have a new girl coming on. Her name is Sky. And Sky is going to take over the reins for my lead coordinator position. So if any of you are out there on my list of people that I've been talking with, probably the last year or so, you might be hearing from Sky. She might be reaching out to you, just checking in, seeing how you're doing, and making sure that we stay in touch with you, and making sure that if you're coming down, that I am here for you and available. So that's what's happening there with her. So here's the deal. Anybody that I put in this new position, I created this position called a lead coordinator. Well, it's not created, but I have this lead coordinator position, and it's for new agents, and it's to help new agents get trained and up and running, and it's a part-time position. It's only 4 hours a day, but the other 4 hours is open for her who's in that position, or the other 4 hours, that's what the other 4 hours are for that person in that position. But where I was going with all this is that these new people that are in my office, so I have Nina, who's just about ready to give birth any day now. So we had to make sure we were covered for her. We have Joanna, who, if you're watching, Joanna and her two girls, well, she has 4 girls actually, but she has some older girls and some younger girls. She started all over again. But if you're out there, Joanna, hey, with your girls, and so we have Nina, Joanna, Diane. Now we have Sky coming on board, and we have another guy named Robert. Robert, we're going to put to work here as well. So this job here is to get these agents started and to train with me. So I'm personally training these agents. And so if you come down, you may, meet me in my conference room, and there might be somebody else there. And if it is, it's probably one of the girls who I have. I also have Kirk. So Kirk was in the lead coordinator position. I don't know. That position was made to be held for 3 months, but a lot of people, once they get in that position, they go ahead, they join the board, they join the MLS, and they're ready to go. So a lot of them don't even want to be tied down to an office job. They want to be out there doing their own thing. So I do have Kirk out there as well. Kevin, buddy, I don't know if you realize what we have to do to get your pictures up, but I can't I can't stop the show right now to send them and download them. Then they got to be sent back to me. So anyways, maybe I'll just hold up my phone tonight. Liz, so, all right, so anyways, I just wanted to prepare everybody. If you see somebody in the conference room with me, or somebody that's training with me, I'm personally training these agents to be able to give good quality customer service. All right, so let's talk about who's online here with me tonight. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so Liz, we're going to get to you in just a second. Kevin, hey. Kamala, some of our regulars, how are you? Gary Winkle from Tallahassee, where Jamie is up there going to school. Gary, I think's got a few more years to work, maybe 4 more years before he's down here. So day and night fleet repair. That is a new one. So if you want to give me your name, that's great. If not, that's great too. I always like to know who I'm talking to. So hey everybody, Jerry Bell. Jerry Bell, what time is it? Jerry, it's 10 minutes after 6, buddy. You're a little bit late. Usually you're the first. Usually Jerry's the first one. Then Jerry and Kevin kind of, fight back and forth, see who's going to get on first. But we got Liz up and running. Oh my gosh. Jerry, that's a great. All right, Joanna says she's watching, so hey. So. So, you see this board here? This is Antonio's favorite board. These are all the projects that Antonio has got and is going to be working on. So let me see here. I don't even think Antonio knows about that video. So Jerry, when Christian left, all hell broke loose, kinda, sorta, because we went through a few different people before we finally found somebody competent enough and someone daring enough to put up with me. But so all these videos kind of got backed up. So we kind of have priorities. We're trying to get some homes out there. We have 2 for sale by owners that are going to be coming up. So I want you all to be kind of looking for those. When are those going to be coming up, sir?
The soonest we can get one out is Wednesday.
So maybe Wednesday.
Usually we're uploading on a Wednesday and Friday schedule.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so Antonio tells me we're on a 2-day-a-week schedule, Wednesday and Friday.
Yep, but we got something special out today, actually.
We did?
Yeah, the farm on, where was it? The farm nearby, from Elvis.
Oh, Elvis's farm. Oh, okay, so yeah, see, homes around the villages? Well, it doesn't mean just in the villages. It's also around the villages, around the outside and around the inside. That's kind of a play on words there as I look to see. So we actually, oh, well, bring that on over here for me, please.
The big sign?
Yeah. So we have this coming up. For sale. So this is the big farm that Antonio just downloaded. I don't know how you can see that, but it's a multi-family property. We got a QR code. Thank you. So we still have to install that. And I'll probably do that in the next day or two, go on out there and install that property. But, so that's that's a video that we had on our sister channel, Central Florida Farms and Land, but since it is maybe 5 miles from here, then we went ahead and posted it on Homes Around the Villages. So that's what you're going to see today if you're kind of wondering what's going on with that. The funny story is, there's a backstory to that. This guy that owns this property, I left a Monday Night Live probably a couple months ago now, and going home by the time we broke everything down and after our live and everything, about 8 o'clock, 8:30, I think I was headed home, and I see this Ford SUV with this big trailer on the back of it. It looked like a big cage rather than a trailer, but it was a big cage on wheels. And there's 4 little puppies in this cage at 8:30 at night. I'm like, what? So I pull up next to him and I look over and I'm like, those look like Great Pyrenees puppies. Well, we had a 14-year-old Great Pyrenees and she was on her last legs, and I thought, oh man, this must be a God thing, putting these dogs in this, and at this time it was just crazy. So I went ahead and I just passed him. I'm like, I zoomed past him. Then I'm like, no, and I slowed down. And I looked again, and sure enough, they look just like Great Pyrenees puppies, and that's what we have, 2 Great Pyrenees. But like I said, we had an older one at 14. So I'm like, well, let me follow this guy and see where he's going, right? And I was going to roll down my window and ask him if those were Great Pyrenees puppies. But for some reason, I guess I went through a light and he stopped, and I kept going. So I turned around, pulled around, flipped a Yui, and was, to make a long story short, he pulled in the Walmart parking lot, parked, put a big sign up on that cage, Great Pyrenees puppies, and I'm like, this is meant to be here. So I stopped, started talking to him, bought one of the puppies. She's still with us now, and they're about 4 months old then. I guess she's about 6 months old now. But anyways, he was talking to me about his farm that he has and how he was thinking about selling it because he's a pastor and he was going to go out and do some missionary work. So there you go. That's the story behind all that. I got a listing from Pastor Elvis. So that was cool. That was pretty cool. So we're trying to get that sold for him. All right, Liz. I didn't forget you. So Liz asked me a question. She goes, hello, Ira, Liz from New York. I would like to know, can I purchase a pre-owned 2-2 patio villa home, then rent it? If so, how much can I rent it for? Also, what home insurance do the villages have? So, let's do this. First of all, yes. Villagers' homes for rent. This is, wait a minute, let me see. I don't know if we could do this mini-me thing, right?
We can do it. On. There you go.
There we go. Hey. All right, so all right, so up here, villagers' homes for rent. If you want to do your own, it's kind of like for sale by owners, but it's rent by owners, right? What can you rent your home for? Well, let's see. They have, we don't want the advanced search. Let's see, we want home. We want, oh, here we are, patio villas. So if you want to really have an idea, Liz, what you can rent a patio villa for, there's 365 patio villas on the market for rent. And if you just go to up here, Villagers Homes, the number 4 rent.com, you can pretty much go through here and look and see. This one's in the village of Duval. Okay, this is a typical patio villa. And then they give you your calendar of availability and tells you how much you can rent it for. So it's rented January through March and April. So May is the first time it's not rented. But, oh man, I was thinking they've got deposits, cleaning fees. This really will tell you a lot of what you need to know about renting. Oh, here we are, rental rates. So November, this month, $2,800. December, $3,000. But oh gosh, they don't give us January. Well, I mean, we don't necessarily just need. But this is the place to go. Let's go back. Wait a minute. Let's go back to, oh, if you want to see what it looks like, here's some pictures. Nice LVP flooring. If it's $3,000 for December, I'd say it's probably about $3,800 for here we go. All right, so these are some of the newer ones. In St. Catharines, they have a carport rather than a garage. They have golf cart parking in there. And so again, I just encourage you to go through this and see what, that'll give you a lot of information about what you need and what you can get and the deposits and pet fees and all that, okay? All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna put myself back up into full mode here. All right, so that's, now, in my office here, we do rentals. So if you don't want to do your own rental, then we do have the ability to, let me get back here. We do have the ability to rent it out for you. I think we charge 15%. I'll have to get with Blakely really about what we charge, but that's kind of the going rate. 15% of whatever your rental fee is for us. And what we would do is, well, let me do this. Let me kind of go here. If this is how we rent your property out. We'll go search rental quick. So if you rent through me, we actually put you in the MLS as a rental. I mean, what the village. A little late at night, huh? All right, so these are the results of what our rentals look like. We have 47 rentals available. Now, if we want patio villas, we would go back to criteria. We would tell it villas, 15 matches, and some are going to be courtyards, some are going to be patio villas. So this one on Gunner is a newer patio villa. We'll go next. Cherryvale is a courtyard villa. The rental price is $2,400, but don't get fooled by that because, oh, this one actually, the lease term is 12 months. So they want to rent it long term. They don't want just a short term rental. So they'll rent it for 12 months for $2,400 a month. All right, so this is just an example of what we can do. This is another one. Available December 2023, 1-year lease or longer only. So these are people, a lot of the annual, a lot of the monthly rentals are pretty much rented out now in November. So that's why you're seeing these homes here that are available are annual rentals, okay? All right, let me go back. Make sure I'm staying current here. All right, so going back to Jerry's question, now I did do the outside. I have yet to do the inside. Isn't that crazy? All these months later and I haven't got an inside video of my office, and we need to do that. So I'm going to ask Antonio if he'll go ahead and write that down and say we need to finish that video up, since I do have the drone and showing where we used to be, because we're close enough to where I can fly my drone down to my old office and then fly it back to this new office, which is what I've already done. And then, so we have all that videoed. We just don't have the inside videoed. So maybe we can probably try to get that done this week. Okay, what was the price of the 6.6 acres? Good question. So right now it's priced at $950,000. I suggested a little bit lower, but he wanted to try it a little bit higher, which, you know what, I don't have a problem with. We can test the market to see what if that price will hold. And so what I tell my customers that I do listings for, if you want to test it higher than what I suggested it be, again, I don't have a problem with that, but my suggestion also is, let's see how many showings we get in 30 days. And if we don't get any showings or just a couple showings, well, that means we're way overpriced. If we get showings but no offers, then that means we're a little bit overpriced. And so that's kind of how it works with the listings. And I only suggest we test the market for 30 days, which we're kind of close to that 30 days now. And I've been talking with the property owner about reducing our price. But right now, $950,000 for 6.83 acres. The whole unique thing is, go ahead and check out the video. There are actually 3 living areas on this property. There's the main house, and then you have what I call the man cave, and then you have a little smaller structure that they call the clubhouse. So each of them are air conditioned. Each of them have beds and bathrooms and a semblance of a kitchen. So it's really for, I don't know if you really saw what I put on the sign over here, but it says multifamily property, because someone can come in with maybe elderly parents or older parents who they want to have live with them, but not in the house with them, separate from them. The man cave might be perfect for that. Might have a teenage daughter or a 20-something daughter or son. They might be able to live in the clubhouse. So it's set up for multi-family, I call it a multi-generational property. Okay? So that's the uniqueness about this property. Big pasture areas on either side. Has RV sites on it, where you can hook up an RV if somebody wants to come visit and has an RV, and they can stay there in their RV. So check out the video for that. All right, so Gary says a 2.2 Topaz model is what I really like. Well, that's good, Gary. And I know we always talk about this, but I know you're 4 years away from retirement and all that, but I've been doing this 24 years now. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with over the years. I would work with some people for years, and they would get with me probably 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years later, and say, you know what? I really wish I would have bought when I first came here. I hear that all the time. So I know it might sound like a sales pitch to you, but it's only from experience of working with people in the past. And just like Liz was saying, she's thinking about buying a 2.2 patio villa and renting it out. If you can afford to do something like that, if you invest in a home today, it's not going to be what you bought it for 4 years ago. So there you go. Because I try to avoid that conversation. I wish I would have bought back when I first met you. Hear that all the time. John Keller has joined us here. Thanks for jumping in, John. Appreciate it. Picking up the U-Haul tomorrow and should be down by Friday. Yeehaw! That's cool. Come on, John. Gamala, do you believe that the Village's bubble will ever burst? You know, Gamala, I'm glad you brought that up, because here's what I have for you. It might seem like it's bursting already. So here's the Village's news network. Now, a long time ago, I made a video called News Sources in the Villages, and I went through all the different news sources. The POA paper, the Daily Sun, the Villages News, Talk of the Villages. So if you haven't seen that video, pull that video up, News Sources in the Villages. But I came across this, and this is really a good source for the real news. The Daily Sun just sugarcoats everything, right? So, and anyways. Reply to the man who says, do not buy a home in the Villages. And I kind of read that letter that gentleman. Hold up. Sorry. Let me get myself back here for you. Oops. There we go. All right. This is in reply to the man who's telling people do not buy. So sorry you feel this way after 2 years of living here and all based on golf. You also seem to be upset about what goes on down south when you live up north. So I used to say there's two things you never want to talk about. And what are those two things? You don't ever want to talk about politics, and you don't ever want to talk about religion. And here's a third thing, you never want to talk about living in the Villages, because you're going to get half the people that have a grievance, and you're going to get these other half that want to, what I would say, justify for living in the Villages. Right? And you're just going to have that all the time. So that's what this is. Anyways, this right here, I think is going to take us to, no, maybe, yeah. I wanted to go back to that. All right, do not buy a home in the Villages. November 5th, letter to the editor. Do not buy a home in the Villages. Overbuilding without new amenities is destroying this place. So there you go. You're asking me, will the bubble ever burst? Sometimes I almost think that the Villages are their own worst enemy. To me, well, let's read. If you're looking for a retirement community and like golf, but buy anywhere else than the Villages, I urgently urge you to consider the grave situation that has unfolded within the Villages. It has come to my attention that securing a tee time has become an insurmountable challenge due to the Villages management's reckless decision to construct thousands of houses in the southern region without the necessary accompanying golf courses. That does make sense. I want to make it abundantly clear that I will actively dissuade anyone I know from considering the villages as their future destination. The current state of affairs has rendered the once enjoyable experience of securing a tee time virtually impossible. When my family and I first arrived here just 2 years ago, I could effortlessly secure a spot on any 9-hole golf course. However, today I am confronted with the shocking reality that no tee times are available until 4 p.m. This situation is nothing short of an injustice in my eyes. It has also come to my attention that the younger generation now appear to be in control, placing their financial interest above all else. The villages, once hailed as a retirement community, has tragically transformed into a mere housing project devoid of the necessary amenities to justify a real estate investment. The virtues of the past have been forsaken in favor of greed and hubris. I implore you to think twice before. So like I said, you are going to get a lot of people that are going to come down on you about that and justify why it is. So sorry you feel this way after 2 years of living here, and all based on golf. You also seem to be upset about what goes on down south when you live up north. You have lived in the villages for 20 years and we have lived in the villages for 20 years and are on our second house. Lake Sumter wasn't here when we came, so we haven't even seen a lot of changes. Lake Sumter Landing wasn't here when we came, so we have seen a lot of changes. We have learned to go with the flow because the villages always seems to do everything right. They are now opening 3 new golf courses, so for your 2-year attitude to be telling people not to move here is shocking to me. You are not a tree. Move if you are that unhappy. All right, Renee. So, there you go. So we want to talk about the bubble bursting, right? So I do hope, I really do hope that, come on.
You want to get it full?
Yeah, I'm hitting full.
Oh, is it not? All right, so what we're going to do is just close this real quick and bring it back. Just give it a minute. I don't know why it does that.
All right, well, we could be talking with me down here in the little bitty corner until we can get it straightened up. But anyways, so, you know, if any of you are aware of what the Village is doing, they are building a lot of infrastructure down there in the southern area. Although I will just say that it is pretty pricey. And in the form of a bond, right? So, I mean, that's kind of, but, you know, they have sawgrass groves down there, which is pretty cool. I like that area. And so they are building some golf courses. It is getting pretty big. I would have liked to have maybe seen not so much of a contiguous villages. I really kind of think that they didn't have to tie everything together like they did. But that's just the way that the villages works. They seem to build houses ahead of amenities. And then only later do they come in with the amenities when they have the houses to support all those amenities. It used to be the other way. When Gary Morris was alive, he built the amenities first, and then he built the houses because he wanted people to see that what was here up front, and he didn't have to sell homes based on a promise, right? So that's how Gary used to operate. I just see that things have really changed since he passed away, and his children have taken over, and they seem to have gone ahead and done things in reverse. So it's not like they don't have the money to go ahead and put all that stuff in. The example I'll use is what's the name of that shopping center down there? There's a shopping center next to the Everglades Rec Center, the Magnolia Shopping Center. And man, it took them like 3 or 4 years to build that shopping center. And Finney was already built, DeSoto was already built, I think Linden was already built before they even, and that was before even the golf cart bridge was built over the turnpike. So I guess they were just really afraid that the development might not have gone very well going that far south over on the other side of the turnpike, and they were just afraid to put any money into that development until they sold enough homes where they felt comfortable to go ahead and build the infrastructure out. So that's on them. And it is what it is, but you can't please everybody, right? I guess that's the old saying. But we will continue to go, but I guess that's one of the reasons why I had suggested to Kevin why he really Kevin was really attached to the southern part of the villages, and I kind of nudged him a little bit to buy more in the middle, which he did. He listened to me. And now, he's very close. He's in between Brownwood and Lake Sumter Landing. His bond, I can't remember if he has a bond, but if he does, it's really low. So I think even though Kevin hasn't had a chance really to live in that house, now that I think about it, I probably need to go over and check on your house, Kevin. But anyways, yeah, I think Kevin's happy. Kevin and Karen are happy with their decision. But this other guy here, here, I don't know if you all are aware of what the golf situation is, but it's based on points. So I would pretty much guarantee that this gentleman that wrote that letter to the editor is just an avid golfer who wants to golf every single day, and he's just building all these points up. And I'm going to tell you, when the winter time hits, that's when it really floors the full-time people who are avid golfers here in the villages, because all the people that come down here in the winter, whether they're renters or whether they're just seasonal people. I don't like that word snowbird. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. But seasonal people who have seasonal homes down here, and renters and visitors, those all people are coming down here and starting with 0 points if they're golfing. And all the people who have lived here throughout the year have all these points built up. So it's hard for them to get a tee time. And that's probably this guy's problem. He's played so much golf and racked up so many points that he's real discouraged because he can't get a tee time. And I guarantee you that's probably why.
My grandfather also golfs almost every day, and sometimes he's complaining he can't get a tee time.
That's why.
Yeah.
He's racking up them points. Wait till the winter time. Your grandfather's really going to be mad because there's that many more people wanting to golf, and they don't have any points. So Antonio over here, he just confirmed even his grandfather, who lives here full time, is having issues with getting tee times. And again, that's why. That's the problem. All right, let's see. So Gamala, this is where our whole conversation started. Do you believe that the village's bubble will ever burst? And so I'm going to just tell you, that's why the village's developer, the kids who took over, and yes, even the grandkids now. So you have Mark, Tracy, and Jennifer, who are Gary Morris's kids. They have adult children now who are starting to take over. And the biggest problem is they're playing catch up all the time, and they're building the amenities way after they've already built the houses. And that's the issue. They need to put those golf courses in first. They need to put those rec centers in first. They need to put those shopping centers in. They need to put those entertainment centers like Sawgrass Grove in first, not after 6 years later. Like Sawgrass Grove came in, I guess 5 or 6 years later, when it just got to be so unbearable, people trying to get over to Brownwood and really overflowing Brownwood. If I can tell the village's developer anything, get the wallet out, spend that money up front, and build those courses and build those rec centers and build all those amenities first, then build your homes, and you'll have a lot happier community, a lot happier customers. But that's the problem, okay? So that's why you have a guy like this who's sending that letter to the editor, who's very disgruntled, because he has every right to be, Get those amenities built up front. Okay, let's see. So, Robert Dockery. Does anybody see Robert Dockery on here? Robert Dockery is a new employee. He's the one of those ones I was talking about earlier with Sky, who's coming in tomorrow, and we've got a job set up for Robert. So if any of you hear from Robert, you'll know that he's one of the new agents. And but I got something special set up for Robert. So you'll hear from Sky, because she is the lead coordinator, and she'll be reaching out to everybody. So Liz, I was thinking 6 months to a year. Thank you, Ira, you're packed with info. Yeah, there you go. All right. Gary, financial issues at this time? No, we know, Gary. We've already talked about that. You're still working. I get it. Keep up the good work. Keep Tallahassee moving in the right direction. That letter is funny. There's 150,000 people living there that disagree with you. Well, I don't know about that, Jerry. And there's a lot more than 150,000 people. Well, I guess, you know what? I guess maybe there's really about 180 to 190 here. They kind of play it down. They're trying to play it down. They don't want to. They're not really making it public knowledge of how many people are really here. But it's been 150,000 people for about 8 years. So I'm telling you, there's probably at least 180, 190,000 here now. If you were to be brave and try to count all the people in the property appraisers. But yeah, there's again, there's going to be a lot of disgruntled people for that reason I just explained. And again, I was wondering where the heck is this shopping center for years. People had to get in their car. They couldn't even get in their golf cart. That bridge wasn't built yet. They had to go over to the Lake Deaton Shopping Center. All right. I am not a I'm not a delusional person. I know it is far from perfect. They became, I guess, cheap houses without shower doors, window shades. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I got it, Kamala. But yeah, unfortunately, I have seen switch. So here's what you have to understand. When it was just Gary Morris, and then Mark, Tracy, and Jennifer were in the roles that they were in. Jennifer in sales, Mark in construction, Tracy doing all the design. That's all you had to send that money to. Now they've all had all these children, and that pie has to get sliced up a little bit thinner. And so that's kind of where I see they're going wrong is because everybody's having to get paid now, including the grandkids. All right, Emilio J. Did the amenity fee go up from 189? Not that I heard. I am hearing it's supposed to go up to 193, but let's check, right? We can definitely check on this. All right, so we're gonna go search. Whoops. Come on. A lot of people ask me too, what's the market gonna do? So, hold on. Where? Oh, okay. All right, so here we are, active over here. And the villages is the city, 319 matches. Now, I keep reminding everybody, back in the old days, a typical, and this was way before all the houses that we have now. I'd say 5 years ago, we probably had 550 homes as an average on the market. Here we're still only 319. So that's a good sign. That's telling us our inventory is low, and it's, even though we had a lot of rate increases, that it really hasn't affected the market all that much. All right, so results. So here's the first few are probably like, so here's 329,000. So it's going to be the same for everybody regardless. So here's where you can tell. Well, right here they don't even have the fees down there. So these people aren't any help. Let's go to the next one. Wow, that's crazy. They're not putting in the amenity fees here. All right, here we go. See down here, average monthly fees, $189. I'll highlight that. Whoops. highlight 189. So that's what they're telling you, the current 189. 189. So yeah, right now it's still at 189. That's what everybody's putting in there. Somebody put $1. So that's where we're at. Like I said, I think I heard that we were going to going up to 193. That might be just a rumor, but I heard that from somewhere. I can't really remember where I heard that from, but let's see. Let's go back to where we were. So Kevin says his bond is 18 grand, where now, you're upwards around 40. So at least twice that. Gary, not a golfer. That's good. I don't golf, but my son comes. So you know what? It sounds like they're putting the cart before the horse. Is that what you think, Robert? So, honestly, I think pickleball is kind of taken over where golf is. So there's so many people that love pickleball. All right, so listen, I'm going to take this time for a little message here. Maybe you can help me, Antonio.
You want to show that?
Well, maybe.
I got it.
There we go. Go ahead and scroll. There's Gio and Noah. There's Kevin.
Left.
Oh, is that okay? Halloween! Gio got him a haircut. He's not the long-haired hippie dude anymore. There's Karen and Noah. He's getting big. Any teeth in there yet? Don't see any teeth coming in yet. And big brother with baby brother. I tell you what, that baby brother looked like he's almost as big as the big brother. Is that it?
Is this one?
There's Gio. Yep.
Yep, that's all.
Cool. So Kevin, hopefully send those pictures in a little sooner so we can hopefully one second, guys. Okay. Okay, cool. See, Kevin, I got distracted whenever I get on, all right, we're good, I'm all caught up. Let's see. Where'd everybody go? All right, have you heard of any flooding when it rains hard in the villages? No, I can tell you right now. Man, I guess, I've been here, like y'all know, I've been in this area almost 30 years, but in the villages selling homes, 24 years. So I've been through a few hurricanes that have really come right through here, and never have we ever had any flooding here in the villages. So I can tell you, you're safe from that. They have a lot of retention ponds, and so you're good to go. Okay, so don't worry about flooding, and you don't need flood insurance here. Alrighty. Let's see. I am not on this. Alright. I don't golf, but my son comes every few months and golfs daily. But see, that's fine, Karen. I mean, if he's coming every few months, I don't know, you probably are making tee times for him, unless he's on your deed. If he's on your deed, he can get his own residence card and make his own tee times. But even that, coming every few months and playing every day, you're still going to kind of keep those points down. And then, oh my gosh. Hey, Victoria. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Kevin is a huge pickleball player. And so even up there in Rhode Island, it's caught on, I guess, across the country. So, but I think they had to drive like an hour. Isn't that right, Kevin? I know, if I remember correctly, you had to drive a long way.
You want to answer this today?
Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
Thank you very much. Okay. So Victoria, again, thank you for joining us. And Kevin, like I said, he's a big pickleball guy. And then Jerry wants to know if Geo is playing pickleball yet. So no flooding. Do most people have storage units to house all their stuff, being there are no basements? So those people that need or have basements that need storage usually go with a home that has a golf cart garage. Because I jokingly tell everybody when we go into a house that has a 2-car or 2.5-car garage, here's your basement, your golf cart garage. There was flooding in DeLuna a couple months ago. I don't remember hearing about that, but I am not going to say there wasn't, because my house is good, though I'm on a hill. All right. I didn't hear that, Karen, so thank you for sharing that with me. Or with everybody. I appreciate that. That's what this whole forum is about, is to ask questions and everybody kind of share in with what's going on. So let's see, let me go back down a little bit here. Have you heard of any flooding? Storage units. Do you really need to get the 10-year termite treatment and associated bond, or is regular pest control? So, I don't know of a 10-year termite treatment. So that's kind of why I pause and I hesitate. I know you can get like up to a 2-year termite bond, but I don't think that there's any termite company or pest control company that will give you a 10-year, because all the ones I know, they'll do 1-year or 2-year bonds, and then they charge you accordingly, and they send somebody out to come look. A lot of them have the Centricon bait systems, that these little green caps that go all the way around a property, and if you undo that cap, there's a little piece of wood just down in that bait trap down there, and that little wood is supposed to attract termites if any termites come. And then so what happens is when you call a termite company or a pest control company to bond your home, and with a termite bond, and they put these little bait traps in there, then they'll just come and they'll check it and see if any of the little pieces of wood have got termites eaten on them. That's how they tell. Other than that, they might go around and just, they do have a system where they can jam something down in the ground and spray it, but Not sure if I've heard of a 10-year bond there. So Karen says he uses her number, plays championship courses, and goes on as a single. Okay, so he's building up your points, Karen. So you probably don't care. Maybe you don't play. I don't know. But that's kind of how that goes. We're putting pickleball courts in old malls that are going extinct. Hey, that is a great idea. Excuse me. Let me get a drink here. Little Celsius Peach Wave. Give them a little credit. Let's see. Maybe my last year of work, I might just rent a place down in the Villages for a year, or the Lofts, and that's a good idea too, Gary. I mean, you'll get a lot of real estate agents. No, don't do that. You want to buy something, but you know what? A lot of times you don't know where you want to buy. You don't know where you want to live in the Villages. You might want to live one place or another. You might rent here for a year, make friends, and want to live near these friends that you make. So that's not always such a bad idea to go in and rent. Although, on the flip side of that, that's a lot of money. You figure if you're paying $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 just out the window. So two sides to every coin, I guess. Excuse me. Gio and Noah have been sick for a month. Oh my God. Oh, they keep trading it back and forth, huh? My friend did that with he and his wife. I just had my, dare I say, 50-year high school reunion in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. And that was kind of shocking, to say the least. To see all these people that I went to school with and how they look today. All right, I have a letter here I want to share with you guys. So, hi, Ira. This is from Jan. Hi, Ira. You were our agent when we bought our house in Tall Trees 3 years ago. We are still very happy with our purchase. A 2010 electric park car, street legal golf cart, came with the house. Yay. We don't use it much and definitely don't drive it as a street legal cart. We have been able to get golf cart insurance on it until this year. Current policy expires in December and no one seems to want to insure it now. The insurance companies see the VIN number, which is much like a car's VIN, and immediately say it's a SMV, small motor vehicle? I don't know. By the way, we have not had any car or golf cart accidents that would make a company not insure us. If we had our cars insured in Florida, we may be able to get insurance. Unfortunately, we still spend most of the year in Kentucky, so cars are insured in Kentucky. So I would say that's your first problem, is that you have your insurance in Kentucky, and no Kentucky insurance company, I wouldn't think, even though you have not had a problem up until now, would insure you. But I'm pretty sure you're going to have to transfer all your insurance. Now, if you had your car insurance, home insurance, all in one policy down here, you'd probably have a much better result by bundling all that insurance. But since it's all in Kentucky, that's probably why you're having problems. When we spoke with an insurance broker with the Village's insurance, she suggested we call DMV to get it reclassified. We called DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. They referred us to the Office of Compliance. That office, no one ever answers the phone, nor is there a way to leave a message. I'm not surprised. Just was wondering if you have heard of this problem and have any suggestions for us. At this point, we are not sure what to do other than maybe sell it. We spent $2,000 on batteries for it last winter. Appreciate any advice you might have. Excited for you opening your own company. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jan. Maybe we will stop in one day when we get down there in December. Jan and Eddie, please do. We'd love to have you stop by and say hi. So, let's take care of this issue here. First of all, dare I go out on a limb and say, why do you need insurance? If you're going to be the driver, I mean, I can't really tell you don't get insurance, right? If I tell you that something happens, Eddie's driving, he makes a left turn, and Jan goes flying out the other side, I'm in trouble, right? So I can't hardly say don't get insurance, but so I'm not. But what I could tell you, if it was me, and only me, and I'm not telling you not to, but if it was me, I probably wouldn't get insurance. But again, disclaimer, that's on you, what you do. But I honestly kind of, am thinking, if you're hardly ever here and no one else is driving the car, the golf car, and you only need insurance as if it's your fault. Well, this is a no-fault state. So a lot of times somebody might hit you and the police might say, well, this is a no-fault state. Your insurance is going to take care of you. His insurance takes care of him. I don't understand how that really works. You'll just have to ask. I'm just giving you questions, giving you things to think about, and giving you talking points to insurance companies. I have insurance with Allstate, and I do have, well, I'm going to answer Jan in an email because I do have an insurance agent she can go talk to. And, or, I tell you what I'm going to do. I have a friend who's an insurance agent. My friend's name is Jared. And Jared's number. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, talk to my friend Jared Clark. 352-789-4150. Call Jared. I think he's with State Farm, if I'm not mistaken. Whoops. I called Jared. He's probably going to call me back. So, that's my disclaimer. Call Jared, see what he thinks. Ask him if you should have insurance or not. But, there you go. Let's talk here. Maybe my last year of work. Cool. I might just rent a place down there. Gio and Noah have been sick. The flooding down south was because of a blocked up drain. Heard it on Skip Smith's show. Must be true. Waiting for Ira to be on. That is true. Gary says that is true. Jerry Bell, I think you are correct. Looked like a blocked drain. So there you go. Blocked drain seems logical to me, but normally you don't have any flooding problems in the villages. So, Emilio J., how much rent can you get in the villages in season and summer? Emilio, where were you earlier when we talked about that? Let's go back for Emilio's sake. Emilio, villagers, see my hand over here? Homes for rent. villagersHomesForRent.com. If you want to know how much you can get, then you have to decide what kind of home you want. These are patio villas that we chose. If we went back, it would give us the option of what we're talking about. So really, I'm just, you know what? I'm of the opinion of you give somebody a fish, they eat for a day. You teach somebody to fish, and they eat forever. So this is where you go. Figure out what type of home you want, and then you click on it, and there's 365 properties. Village of DeLuna. This is a veranda. If you want to know how much this property goes for, you just kind of go on down here. So for rates for 2024, January, 5,500 rented. So man, oh man, these rental rates have gone up. So Emilio, there you go, my man. Hopefully that answered your question. Again, give somebody a fish, they eat for a day. Teach somebody to fish, they eat forever. Go to villagersforrent.com. This will tell you whatever you want to know. Okay? Emilio, watch the replay. Ira did a great detail step by step. There you go, Jerry. I went ahead and went right on back. So he didn't have to do that. Gary Winkle, HSMV, calls converted golf cars, LSVs, low speed vehicles, operating speed above 20 and less than 25. Scott Homa, Skip Smith is the Walter Cronkite of the next generation. You know what? And Scott, that's why I was hesitant to go to the Villages News Network, because I don't want to be like Skip Smith. Because we only need one guy to be the Walter Cronkite of the Villages. You don't need me. You don't need to. That's Skip's thing. I don't want to take that away from Skip. But if y'all want to know about what's happening, just go to the Villages News Network. And not only that, but because we are advertising, we will soon be advertising on the Villages News Network. And we are advertising on the POA, which I don't know if we could even get over there, but POA of the Villages, Florida. Let's see. Here it is. This is another source of fantastic information, you guys. Property Owners Association of the Villages, Inc. Champions of Residential Rights. There's all kind of videos for meetings. This is the president talking to you. Join the POA. This is the place for some real unbiased information. So I'm guessing, well, if you get the bulletin, here's the bulletin that goes out to all the homes in the villages. And there is a ton of great information in the POA. and then even has these people that are advertising in here. Which is interesting. I'm actually looking to see if my ad has even made it. District spends money in Spanish Springs. That's great. Sumter County Sheriff's offers safe program. Water Oak. Competition. Legal marijuana. Let's go by that real quick. Howie in the Hills Christmas Festival. Oh, look. Homes Around the Villages YouTube channel. Everything you ever want to know about the villages. Go ahead and scan on that QR code. And you're good to go. I thought our ad was a little bigger than that, Antonio.
I showed you the dimensions.
I guess it's almost takes up the whole. Well, it's only 3. Anyways, there we go. So go ahead and join us on. So you're going to see us on the POA. Like I said, that POA paper gets delivered to every single home in the villages, which is cool. And then you're going to see us in the Villages News Network. So this is my opportunity to have a little grievance with the Daily Sun, which is the newspaper here in the villages. I tried to advertise that same advertisement that you saw in the POA in the Daily Sun. They said, no way, you can't advertise that in the Daily Sun. Is that not crazy? So why? I'm thinking, well, because it had homes around the villages, and the villages are so protective with their trademark. Everybody has to put the Villages Florida in there. I don't know, do I have, yeah, I've seen that billboard, by the way. But let's see, so the homes around the villages. So we had to revert to advertising in the POA. This is our ad, and they would not let this QR code in their paper, nor would they let this logo, Homes Around the Villages. And made me mad, you know? This is what happened to free speech. I mean, so if you're going against the almighty Villages who owns the Daily Sun, they're going to knock their competition down. So I do have a little bit of a grievance with the Daily Sun on that, and the Villages developer on that, since they own that newspaper. But I feel like they're censoring me and what I can say in a public newspaper. But I'm sure everybody's going to say it's not a public newspaper, it's owned by the villages, and that's why it is what it is. So they're so expensive, they're horribly expensive. They wanted something like $600 for one ad like that in the newspaper in color. Totally insane. Let's see. So Bruce, I'm going to have Antonio look up news in the villages, or news, I guess, look up in our YouTube channel for news sources in the villages, my video that I did on that, and see if you can put a link in the chat stream here, because it has everything. It has the POA, it has the Talk of the Villages, it has the Villages News Network. Talks about the Daily Sun being, this. You don't hear anything negative in the Daily Sun. You'll get the straight scoop on the Villages News Network. You have all those crime bulletin thingies, in there. But you're the man. That was quick. You'll make Christian proud. You know that?
Really?
Thank you, Antonio, for doing that. So, Bruce, go ahead and click on that. News sources in the villages, and that's going to really kind of lay everything out there for you. Kevin, you're bailing on me, buddy. That's about right. 7:30. Hope everybody's getting used to the new time change that happened yesterday, and I know it takes me about a month before I can get used to it. So there you go. All right. So, yes, sir. Did not know about the POA. Go ahead and check that out, Bruce, because it has Talk of the Villages. It has, what other one is there? The Villages News Network, Talk of the Villages. Shoot. I'm going to have to watch it myself, I guess. But good source of news and information in the villages. All right, everybody. It is 7:28, almost 7:30. I only have Antonio till 8 o'clock because he came in at noon today to put in his 8 hours. And we got to break all this down. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We will be back in 2 weeks, all right? No more monthly thing. I just think that takes, that's way too long to be gone. I don't know. I'm almost of the opinion I might need to do this every week. Because I want to, there's a lot of information that we need to relay. And so, I don't know. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, and maybe we'll take a little survey about how often I should do this. Because I know there's a lot of bloggers out there that do things once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Obviously I have another job to do besides this one, where those other bloggers, that's all they do. So, I want to thank everybody for watching, everybody coming on tonight. It's always a pleasure to come in. And then let's see, 2 weeks from today is going to be what? The 20th. So that, yes, you are correct. Who did that, Jerry? No, Gary. That is Thanksgiving week. So yeah, it's all good. Hopefully everybody will be around and want to hear from us. Thanksgiving week on the 20th. We'll see you on November 20th. And in the meantime, come with your questions. We love to answer whatever questions you may have and suggestions, and we'll go from there. So. What's that, John? Oh, no, thank you. It doesn't feel like, doesn't it feel like 9 p.m.? Well, really kind of 8:30 p.m. Well, it was 8:30 p.m. last week at this same time. So, alrighty, only have 2 work days that week. Thanks to our governor. You go, boy, man. You only work 2 days that week? Good for you. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off? Saturday, Sunday? Sounds like a vacation to me. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we will see you November 20th in 2 weeks. Come with your questions. Thanks again. Love y'all. Bye.